Hey guys, Neomis here. Now for today's video, I want to talk about some transfer news. Who are Arsenal going to go back in with the summer? Transfers have now changed for the summer. Teams could now sign players up to the end of August. Yes, it's back. Also, Arsenal linked with Orkun Kokcu. That's probably not how you say his last name. Forgive me. Gabriel Magalhães from Lille also been linked with Arsenal. Are we going to go back into the summer with him, especially after having several failed bids in January? Here's my thoughts on these two players. And if you haven't done so already, please continue to comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, let's get started. So, Orkun Kokcu, and I'm sure I probably butchered his last name already, but Arsenal are rumoured to be looking at signings for the summer, as we all know. And Orkun Kokcu, Kokcu, or Kokcu, however you pronounce it. Again, I'm butchering it. He's been linked with Arsenal. If you don't know, he's a central midfield player. Can also play as an attacking midfield player as well. And I'm not surprised that Arsenal are looking for a player like him. You know, I've said it in previous videos, including the transfer videos from January, that Arsenal are looking to reshape their midfield. They are looking to evolve past Mesut Ozil, and a player that can play in the positions that Orkun can is perfect. I mean, right now he is 19 years old. Plays for Feyenoord in the Dutch league, Eredivisie. Very, very talented player as well. I mean, so far he's been doing pretty well in the Eredivisie. I mean, he has 3 goals, 4 assists, which is okay. But when you look at his age and respect, and for a 19-year-old, I mean, that's pretty decent. I think it's maybe a bit too early when you look at his numbers compared to what some other players have been doing as well within the Eredivisie. Maybe we should hold off. But he's probably a player that we're looking to develop, someone that to grow with the team and with the club. And then hopefully, and probably what the Arsenal board is hoping, is that he develops to be a top talent. But I think only time will kind of tell with him, especially when you look at the numbers. It's not world-class, fantastic type of numbers, but it's good, solid numbers. I mean, so far he has played 29 games so far, playing in the Europa League as well. Got a couple of assists in the Europa League, scoring a goal as well. Only played 18 games in the Eredivisie, and has only scored 2 goals. So, I mean, just looking at how Feyenoord have been playing him, then the fact that he only had such a minimum amount of goals, a minimum amount of assists, most of the time he's probably playing in central midfield compared to how Arsenal would play him. Because chances are Arsenal would play him in a way where probably more like a 4-3-3, either with more of a diamond 3 in midfield with like 2 playmakers, or more like 1 playmaker, 1 DM and 1 attacking midfielder, or even just with 3 central midfield players that constantly moving around, similar to how Emery wanted to play, but just didn't have the players to do it. This is a player that could probably play that way. And when you think of the fact that, oh, Jesus Christ, what was his name? Joe Willock could also play it in that position, central midfield players and attacking midfielder, it probably works well. And all you really need to do is play more of a DM, a defensive midfielder in that position. Yes, it could be Torreira. We need a backup DM, but what a lot of people aren't really talking about is why not at times play Callum Chambers at defensive midfield as well. We've got lots of centre-backs and we're getting nothing but positive reviews from the likes of William Saliba. Mavropanos is doing really well on loan. Dan Ballard, I know he had some injuries earlier on in his loan, but he was doing really well, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of those starts to integrate himself into the senior setup. And there's still Zach Medley as well, and there's Rob Holding, and people are talking about us buying another centre back. So it's an opportunity for other players to maybe get some game time in other positions, and Callum Chambers could get a game time as a DM. So it's one of those where it could work. And when you look at what the price tag is of what they're talking about, I mean, this has been reported in the Guardian, the Daily Express, the Metro so far. I think the numbers are maybe about fair. Right now on transfermarket.com, he's valued at just under 6.5 mil. So that means it's going to be about that 13, 14, 15 million mark. What Feyenoord would potentially be looking for him, and probably what's going to take to kind of get him out of there. There's going to be lots of bonuses attached to it, but he looks like a pretty decent player. Very good technically. Not sure if he's going to be capable of scoring goals, but to be fair, I'm not sure that even matters, especially when you look at the fact that Mesut Ozil hasn't scored a goal away in almost 2 years. So why not bring in a young player that we could potentially develop rather than keep an older player, not producing the goods anymore? Yes, he was a marquee signing when we signed him, but he isn't the player that he used to be. So let's see what kind of happens there with that. I hope that deal kind of happens, but leave your comments on what do you think about Orkun Kokcu or Kökçü, or however it is that you pronounce it. If you're Dutch watching my videos, can you leave a comment below on how you pronounce it? Because I'm sure I probably butchered this man's name several times during this video. Also, Gabriel Magalhães, Lille centre-back, Brazilian centre-back, so we all know, and it's another Brazilian link to Arsenal. We know where this is coming from. This is straight out of the Edu camp. He obviously knows about him. The club have obviously identified him, and I'm 100% positive that this is a player that we probably identified 6 to 9 months ago that we were interested in. We've probably been scouting him since then, and now we've decided that, yeah, this is a player that we want to go. Now, if you haven't heard already, Arsenal did try to go in with some bids in January, and I wanted to talk about, are we potentially going to go with a bid in the summer for him? We've just heard the news that all the transfers have changed and that everything will be going back down to August 31st, so no more, 7th, 8th of August, back to the end of August. That's when the transfer window will end, give the Premier League teams a better chance to compete with their European rivals, which I'm happy with. And this guy, Gabriel Magalhaes, is looking like a real starlet. Brazilian international, 22 years old, and playing some great football. Playing some really, really good football. Now, Arsenal and Everton said to be interested in his services, and both Carlo and Arteta are said to be willing in the summer to go back and purchase him. Now, I could honestly say, because of the Brazilian roots, because we have Edu as our sporting director, I do expect to get this deal over the line. I expect Arsenal to sign him. I know everybody's talking about Upamecano, but we had our chance from Upamecano. And to be honest, if we were serious about fixing our defence, I would have rather used the money that we spent on Pepe and spent it on Upamecano at the beginning of the season. But we didn't. Nevertheless, we're going to have to be shopping in a different pool now. A lot of more talented centre-backs or talented young players that have the potential to be world-class, or at least to be at that top level. That's the pool that we're shopping in now, at the very least for this stage. Like, we are far away, far away from being anywhere near Liverpool, anywhere near challenging. And we've got to go through that process of rebuilding the squads. And this is the first rebuild. You could, I could guarantee everyone, a lot of these players might not be here. We might pick up Gabriel Magalhaes, and he might turn out to be really, really good, play excellent for Arsenal, and who knows, in a few years, he might end up going to somewhere in Italy or Real Madrid or Barcelona. You just don't know. But let's start building the foundations now. And with a player like him valued at 22 million, 6'4". It's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. So guys, let me know your thoughts on everything that I've talked about today. What do you think of Gabriel Magalhães? Do you think this guy is the one, or what do you think of Orkun? And I won't butcher his name too much, but Kökçü, I believe is his name, or Kökçü. What do you think of these guys? Do you think we should be investing our time in these players in the summer? Leave your comments below. The transfer news has not stopped. It will continue to pick up as we get closer to the end of the season. So leave your comments below. Please continue to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you all next time. Peace.